Let's be real. If you've ever felt that nagging, annoying ache in your lower back, you are in very, very good company. It's one of the most common complaints out there. But the big question is, what can you actually do about it? Well, today we're going to dive into an amazing guide from Healthline that gives us 7 super specific stretches to help dial down that pain and get you moving more freely.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to touch on why that backache is so common in the first place. Then, and this is super important, we'll cover the golden rules for stretching safely. After that, we'll get to the main event, the 7-stretch routine, step by step. And to wrap things up, we'll talk about when stretching, believe it or not, might not be the answer.
All right, first up, let's try to understand that lower back pain. It's not just some random mystery that happens to us. A lot of the time, it's a direct result of how we go about our daily lives. And just as the source material points out, a ton of back pain comes from our everyday habits. Things like sitting at a desk for hours or doing the same repetitive movements over and over. Of course, sometimes it's as simple as a pulled muscle. And yeah, occasionally it could be a sign of something more serious. But for so many of us, relief can actually start with just a little bit of mindful movement. Okay, before we even think about getting into a single pose, we have to talk about safety. This part is completely non-negotiable. The whole point here is to relieve pain, not make it worse, right? So how you stretch is every bit as important as the stretches themselves. So here's the bottom line. Be gentle, always. Healthline says it's a great idea to chat with a doctor before you start, especially if you're dealing with an injury. And please, use your breath. It's your best friend here, your guide to knowing if you're pushing too hard. No sudden, jerky movements that can shock your back. And if you feel any sharp pain, that's your body screaming, stop, and you need to listen.
And this quote, it just nails the most important rule of all. This isn't a competition. It's not about forcing anything. The one and only goal is to find what feels good and what brings relief to you. Your body is incredibly smart, so make sure you're paying attention to what it's telling you.
Okay, you ready? Let's get into it. Here is the 7-stretch routine, specifically designed to target and melt away that lower back tension. We're going to walk through every single one step by step. First up, we have child's pose. This is a classic for a really good reason, and it's just a perfect place to begin. So as you follow along, starting on your hands and knees, sinking those hips back, folding forward, you should feel this amazing, gentle stretch all the way down your spine. It gets everything from your glutes to your shoulders. And that last step is the most critical. Just hang out there, breathe deep, and let all that tension just go. Now, what if this feels a little too intense? No worries at all. You can pop a rolled-up towel under your thighs, or maybe widen your knees a bit to give your body more space. You can even rest your forehead on a cushion. Remember, it's all about making the pose work for your body. All right, let's move on to stretch number 2, the knee-to-chest stretch. For this one, you're going to be on your back. Just like the slide shows, you'll bring one knee in toward your chest at a time. This is just a fantastic move for relaxing your hips, thighs, and glutes. The key thing to focus on here is keeping your spine long and your hips glued to the floor as you hold the stretch. Need a little help? A cushion under your head can make it way more comfortable. If it's hard to reach your leg, just loop a towel around it. Easy. And if you're feeling good and want a little more, you can gently tuck your chin and lift your head toward your knee for a deeper stretch. Okay, here's number 3, the Piriformis stretch. Now this one is a game changer because it targets a really deep muscle in your glutes that can be a huge source of tightness and pain. So you'll lie on your back, cross one ankle over the opposite thigh, making a kind of figure 4 shape, and then just gently pull it all toward your chest. You should feel this amazing release deep in your glutes. And hey, if pulling your leg up feels like too much, you can get a gentler, but still effective version by just keeping your bottom foot on the floor. See? Simple tweaks can make a world of difference in finding that perfect spot of relief. Stretch number 4 is the seated spinal twist. This is such a great move for improving the mobility in your spine. As you get into the twist, really think about starting that rotation from the very base of your spine and letting it travel all the way up. This way, you're not just stretching your back, but your hips and glutes too. Now, what's so cool about this next one, the pelvic tilt, is that it's just as much about strengthening as it is about stretching. By pulling in your abs and pressing your lower back flat against the floor, you're actually building up that core strength, which is absolutely vital for supporting your back in the long run. Number 6 is cat-cow, and it's a personal favorite of mine. This isn't a static pose you just hold. It's all about that fluid movement. As you flow between arching your back when you exhale and dropping your belly when you inhale, you're gently waking up your entire spine and releasing so much tension in your shoulders and neck. And again, you can totally modify this one. If your wrists are a little sensitive, just move your hands forward an inch or two. Knees bothering you? A blanket or cushion under them feels amazing. You can also play with the pace. Slow it way down and hold each pose for a bit to really deepen the stretch.
And our final stretch number 7 is Sphinx pose. This is a really gentle back bend that helps strengthen your spine while also opening up your chest and abs. As you lift up, the real secret is to keep pressing your pelvis down into the floor. This keeps everything in your lower back and core engaged in a really supportive, but still relaxed way.
So, we've gone through the whole routine, but what if you're doing these stretches and something just doesn't feel right? This last section is all about learning how to listen to your body's signals, because they're really important.
This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Pain is a signal, but what's it trying to tell you? Is it saying, push through me, or is it saying, back off? Making that distinction is absolutely critical.
And this slide just lays out the answer perfectly. There's a huge difference between that good hurt feeling of a tight muscle releasing and actual legitimate pain. Gentle stretching should feel like a relief. If the pain gets worse, if it feels sharp, or if it just plain hurts to do these gentle moves, that is a bright red warning sign. It's time to stop.
And if you hit that point, it's probably time to see a professional. As the source material mentions, a doctor can help figure out what's really going on and might recommend other treatments. Anything from medication and physical therapy to things like injections or, only in very rare cases, surgery.
I think this quote really brings it all home. Your lower back is involved in pretty much everything you do. So taking a few minutes to stretch isn't just a quick fix for pain. It's about maintaining the strength and flexibility you need to just live your life.
So, I'll just leave you with this thought. Think of these stretches as more than just a reaction to pain. They're a way to actively care for a part of your body that does so much for you. Your back supports you all day, every single day. The only real question left is, how are you going to support it back?